There's something about cross country. It's just, I'd say it's the hardest sport out there. I know there's probably a lot of other athletes that would say that about their sport, but cross country is pretty dang hard. You've got to run 5 kilometers, not on a flat track, but along the country, dirt, rocks, grass, hills, uneven terrain, sand, everything. And you've still got to perform well for yourself individually, but also as a team, you've got to score well. And I just think it's the perfect blend of an individual and a team sport. But I think ultimately, cross country is a team sport. It has to be. This past week, I had the opportunity of going to my high school's cross-country championship. And I remember being there on the sidelines and watching my team warm up. And the memories started to flow of the last time that I stood on that start line. And the last time that I crossed that finish line. And when we and my team stood on that podium and hoisted the Arizona State title. Oh, it was amazing. And this is the story of how Ironwood Ridge won the 2022 Arizona Cross Country State Championships. Oh man, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like a core memory. Just one of those events that you're just never going to forget. Now, the reason this story was so amazing wasn't because we won, but because we lost the year before. So just to put a little bit of things into perspective, the year before we lost by 5 points to Flagstaff, and we really thought we were going to win. We had the team together. It just wasn't our day. And I remember just being absolutely crushed. Me and my brother, we thought it was over. The next year, we had some seniors graduate, and we lost a really good runner, and we just weren't sure if we were going to have the athletes we needed to be able to pull off another attempt at the state championship title. But I remember after the first race, the preseason rankings came out, and I think we were 3rd or 4th or something, and so I knew we had a pretty good shot, but I wasn't quite sure it was solidified. Flagstaff has always been the GOAT at cross country in Arizona. They've won probably 8 out of the last 10 years. And so us barely losing to them was insane. But thinking and attempting to beat Flagstaff, that was quite an undertaking, quite a dream. Now, throughout the season, we had some really good runners. We had me, we had my teammate Declan Jorgensen, Noah Burnett, Mason Tangle, Gage Robbins, John Richardson, my brother, just to name a couple. And we were looking really good, but me and my team were a little confused. We weren't racing fast courses because our plan was to really fly low below the radar. Like, we didn't even want Flagstaff to even think they were going to have to be paying attention to us this year. And so we ran some of the hardest courses. We raced one in Prescott, which was such a hard course, just hills and dirt and altitude. But it trained us, it got us in the mentality of working hard. Nothing comes easy. I remember after that Prescott race, like, talking with my teammates, I was like, we're not going to do well. We're not racing well. And I remember talking to my coaches and them just telling me, just wait, Nathan, we've got a plan. Just trust the process. And so then I remember, okay, Nathan, just relax, just do the workouts, put in the work, and what's going to happen is going to end up happening on race day. So as we were getting closer to the state meet, I remember sectionals we won for the third time in a row, which was absolutely amazing. 3-time defending sectional champs. I remember I was either 4th or 5th, right behind Declan on my team. And there were 2 cat foot runners ahead of us, Brandon Martz and Max Ire. And, you know, they were kind of on the watch list, but we never thought cat foot was going to be in contention. You know, we were staying low below the radar, but we thought it was just going to be us and Flagstaff. And we later realized it would be a much tighter race than just us and the top dogs from Flagstaff. Now, personally, for me, I wanted this really bad. It was my last year running high school cross country. We'd gotten so close last year, and me and my brother kind of held ourselves accountable for that. Not as much as my brother. He was sick the day of the race with pneumonia. He raced the state champion meet with pneumonia and still took 50th. But it was a big letdown for him because he was going in ranked 35th or something like that. And possibly if he had a better race, we would have won. But I don't hold anything against him. We all could have raced a little bit better. And ultimately, the Flagstaff Eagles were just better on that day. But all in all, I knew it was possible. I knew we would have to give everything, but I believed it was possible. So now let's fast forward to race day. I remember we got there the day before. We slept in a hotel. We woke up early. We drove to the course, and it was just serene. Everyone was just quiet, thinking about their race plans, what they knew they had to do. And I remember the warm-ups. Everything was just kind of going in slow motion. And, you know, I remember dabbing at my teammates, okay, come on, let's do this. And I remember us huddling in our huddle, and Joey Scheid, shout out to Joey, hyping us up. Let's go, Niall. Let's show them what you're made out of. And I just remember let's go, Nathan, you've put in the work. The rest is in God's hands. And before every race, I always read to myself a scripture from the Book of Mormon. It's from 2 Nephi 32. I don't know the exact verse, but basically it says, pray unto Heavenly Father before you do anything and consecrate it, that it will be for the welfare of your soul. And so I was just, okay, God, it's out of my hands. I've put in the work. Please consecrate my performance to be for the welfare of my soul and for my team. And with that, we walked over to the start line. I remember standing there right next to my teammate Declan and, you know, just giving him a little fist bump and just telling him, okay, let's do this. It's time. I remember just closing my eyes, just breathing, just having a silent prayer in my heart. Taking a big step back. Then the starter raised his gun. On your marks, get set. And then the gun fired and everyone was off. It was a mad dash. Now the hills on the state course are no joke. That is what it is known for. The Arizona State Championship cross-country course is full of hills. There's 2 main hills that everybody talks about. There's the big one that goes down about 1.25 miles into the race, and there's one after the 2-mile marker that's the cement hill that's just brutal. So you've got to conceal your energy. So me and Deck, when we get out, we know we've got to be in the top 10 the entire race, like no question about it. So we get out, we're probably in about 10th and 9th. And the thing I love about my teammate Declan is we are like the exact same pace. We do all of our workouts together, and we're just great friends. We hang out with school, and it's just awesome to have a teammate and a friend that's so close to my paces and how fast I run. So we're side by side, right next to each other. We go through the mile mark. I don't remember the split. Pretty quick. And I remember just saying, okay, just stay relaxed. Now Declan, he usually gets out a little bit quicker than I, so he's kind of in front, I'm behind. And I remember it's about 1.5 miles. We've already gone down, and up the big hill that everybody talks about. And I remember him kind of looking back over his shoulder and just kind of tapping his hip, just, come on, Nathan, let's go. And so we get side by side. And I remember him pointing. He points at the guy in front of us. He doesn't say anything because we're both exhausted and out of breath, but he just points. And so we go on either side of this guy and we both move up a place. And then he kept doing that. It's like, this next guy. And then we kept moving up, and we're just side by side throughout that whole second mile. And I remember I was so exhausted. I was like, hey, we're winning this state title. We're winning this state title. And I remember running by my coach, Coach Bartz, and she was like, hey, you need 5 more. You need 5 more. And at that time, I would realize we pretty much had the win solidified. I didn't know that at the time, but I was like, okay, we need 5 more. We need 5 more guys. And so we just kept going. And I remember coming around one of the turns with about 400 to go. The way the course goes is you go up these rollers and then it's straight 200-meter downhill as you come over this crest of the hill, straight to the finish. And it's just a dead sprint to the end. And I remember coming over that hill and my teammate Declan twisted his ankle or something and almost went down. And I remember just thinking, oh, if he's going down, I got to make up a couple more places. And there was a guy right in front of me, and we just duked it out all the way to the finish. I would gain on him, he would gain on me, I would gain on him. He ultimately got me at the end, and I came through in 7th place. Declan, my teammate, came through about 5 seconds after me, and I remember just looking back for my teammates and just, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Pretty soon Gage came through. Pretty soon John came through. Pretty soon Noah came through. And I remember just not knowing, because the year before, we'd celebrated too early. We thought we had it, and then the results populated. And I did not want to do that again. And so I remember just waiting as athletes came in and the scores were adjusting and moving as more athletes came in. And I remember them saying, I think Ironwood Ridge has got this. And I didn't want to get overly excited. And I found my brother. He had had the race of his life. I was just congratulating all my teammates. Whatever happens, we gave our all. And I remember we go over to our coach, and she's going through the online results, and they're finalized. Ironwood Ridge, 84. The Flagstaff Eagles, 9. And I remember thinking to myself, what? I remember looking around because I saw all my teammates except Mason Tango. And I see him over there and I just run towards him. Just, we did it! He leaps into my arms and I fall on the ground. Oh my, we had done it. We had won an Arizona State Cross Country Championship. I couldn't believe it. No one could believe it. We were ecstatic. I remember calling one of our older coaches, Coach Adiemi, and we were FaceTiming her, and it was just, we have done it. It was, there's no words to describe the feeling of elation and amazement that I felt that we had accomplished that goal. And it took a while to set in that we had actually done it. And I remember going on the cool down with my teammates, and oh my, if I could relive this experience, I would 1,000 times over. Just going on that cool down, just, we did it. And I remember we passed Flagstaff, and of course we were good sports about it. Good job, guys. But they came up to us, they're like, what? Where were you? We weren't even thinking about you, Ironwood Ridge. You came out of nowhere. And this was the whole plan. We'd gone into the state meet ranked 7th. No one expected anything. You know, they'd known we'd taken 2nd last year, but no one thought that we were going for the crown this year, especially after Logan Merrick, who you might know, stellar athlete, now running in college, had graduated, and we thought without him, we were done for. And Zittle Flagstaff was like, what? Where'd you guys come from? Good job, and we all congratulate them. They congratulate us. Catfoot, the Catalina Foothills High School, was a close 3rd, and that's who Flagstaff had on their radar. They were like, hey, we got to beat them. No one was looking for the Ironwood Ridge Nighthawks. We just swooped in. Now, then it was time for the trophy ceremony. And I remember going up there, I took 7th, Declan took 8th, And it was amazing. I didn't realize it, but I guess my title was Arizona All-State because I was in the top 7. And that was amazing. And I was number 1 runner on the team. Like, Declan had been ahead of me pretty much all season, and I finally beat him. And I was pretty proud of that. Nothing against you, Declan. He was an amazing teammate, but he always seemed to get me in races. We'd be neck and neck the whole race, and we'd always have that kick at the end. And I was able to beat him this time. But, that's just that inner team competition that made both of us better. I don't think if either of us were on the team alone, we would have been as good. But together, no, we were just an unstoppable power force. The Ironwood Ridge dynamic duo, Nathan and Declan. That's who we were. I remember standing on that trophy stand. Wow, it was just so much work had gone into this, and I was finally standing at this moment where I'd accomplished what I wanted to and what our team wanted to. We'd set a goal, we'd worked hard, and we had accomplished it. And it was so amazing. This will forever go down in memory as a core memory of mine. I will never forget the feelings I felt that day. It was absolutely amazing.